On July 22nd, 1934, John Dillinger walked out of Chicago's Biograph Theater beside the woman history remembers as the Lady in Red. Minutes later, federal agents shot him dead, but Anna Sage wasn't wearing red, and she had helped betray Dillinger because she hoped it might keep her in America. It didn't. By the summer of 1934, Dillinger had become one of the most hunted men in the country. He had escaped from jail, survived the disastrous federal raid at the Little Bohemia, and disappeared into Chicago while investigators searched for any connection that might lead them to him. One of those people in his new circle was Polly Hamilton, the woman Dillinger was seeing after the arrest of his former girlfriend, Evelyn Franchette. Hamilton knew a Romanian immigrant named Anna Sage, whose real name was Anna Kumpanas. Anna had entered the United States in 1914 and operated a brothel in Gary, Indiana. By 1934, immigration authorities were already trying to remove her from the country. Then Sage discovered that the man Hamilton knew as a companion was John Dillinger. She recognized one of the most wanted men in America from photographs that had appeared in the newspapers. For Sage, Dillinger suddenly represented something more than a famous fugitive. He represented leverage. She wanted money. But more importantly, she wanted help remaining in the United States. On July 21st, she contacted authorities and was eventually brought together with Special Agent Samuel Calley and Chicago agent Melvin Purvis. Sage offered information that could lead them directly to Dillinger. In return, she hoped to receive the reward offered for information leading to his capture and assistance with her deportation case. But Calley and Purvis were careful about what they promised. According to the FBI account, they told Sage they could bring her cooperation to the attention of the Department of Labor, which then handled immigration matters, but they could not guarantee that she would be allowed to stay. Sage accepted the arrangement. She told them that the following evening, she expected to attend a movie with Dillinger and Polly Hamilton. There was still a problem. Sage did not know which theater they would choose. The possibilities were the Marlboro Theater on Chicago's West Side or the Biograph on Lincoln Avenue. Federal agents therefore had to prepare for both. Sage provided the detail that would allow them to distinguish the trio from hundreds of other moviegoers. She would wear an orange skirt so agents could recognize her. On Sunday evening, July 22nd, Sage confirmed that she, Hamilton, and Dillinger were going out, but the theater remained uncertain until they arrived. At about 8:30, the three entered the Biograph to watch Manhattan Melodrama, starring Clark Gable. Once Purvis confirmed their location, the men stationed at the Marlboro Theater were directed to the Biograph. The agents had their target inside, but they had another problem. The theater was crowded. J. Edgar Hoover instructed the men to wait outside rather than risk a gunfight among the audience. At about 10:30 that night, the movie ended. Dillinger emerged from the theater with Sage and Hamilton on either side of him. Purvis stood near the entrance and lit a cigar, the signal for other agents to move in. Dillinger passed him and began walking down the sidewalk. According to the Bureau's account, Dillinger realized what was happening, reached for a .380 automatic pistol in his trouser pocket, and ran towards a nearby alley. 3 federal agents, Charles Winstead, Clarence Hurt, and Herman Hollis, opened fire. 5 shots were fired, 3 struck Dillinger, and he fell face down on the pavement. 20 minutes later, John Dillinger was pronounced dead at the Alexian Brothers Hospital. Anna Sage had done exactly what investigators needed her to do. The clothing that she wore allowed them to pick Dillinger out of the crowd. But almost immediately, the purpose behind her cooperation became more complicated. Sage received a $5,000 reward for the information that led authorities to Dillinger. What she did not receive was permission to stay in America. The FBI later maintained that its agents had never possessed the authority to cancel her deportation and had only promised to make immigration officials aware of her assistance. Sage eventually complained publicly that she believed a bargain had been made, while Purvis maintained that he had done what he could on her behalf. Her appeals failed. On April 25, 1936, less than 2 years after she helped bring federal agents to Dillinger, Anna Sage was forced to leave the United States and return to Romania. The nickname survived long after the details became blurred. Newspapers and popular culture transformed Anna Sage into the mysterious Lady in Red, even though the FBI says the famous red dress was essentially a media creation. The real story may be more interesting. Sage did not simply walk into a theater intending to become part of an American legend. She was an immigrant facing deportation who discovered that she possessed something the federal agents desperately wanted: the location of John Dillinger. She traded that information for money and the hope that it might allow her to stay in the country. Dillinger was dead by the end of the night. Sage was gone from America less than 2 years later. So was Anna Sage simply the woman who betrayed John Dillinger, or was she making a desperate bargain to save herself? Thank you all for liking and subscribing to the channel. If you would like to write the Eclectic Historical Society, you can send us a letter to this address, and we will return the favor with a letter written on our 1930s typewriter. With that being said, this is the Eclectic Historical Society, and remember, history is lost if it isn't repeated.